You are all sacred beings. It is a time in this evolutionary journey of yours that you must remember this. I am the one that you know as Jesus, and I have come to you today to share with you this knowledge that you are sacred beings. Most of you who are floundering around with the difficulties and challenges and stresses of this transitionary period that your planet is going through have forgotten this. You are deeply immersed in the egoic mind, which is the mind that believes it is a body, that believes it can be hurt, that believes it is vulnerable. You are all invulnerable. You existed before this body came into being. You animate this body. It is not you. It cannot do anything without you. It is a demonstration of your belief in your smallness. Despite its beauty at times, despite the ability it has to bring you experiences, it really does demonstrate your smallness. And that is what a lot of you are going through right now. You are feeling vulnerable. You are feeling confused. You are experiencing all of the untruths in your mind. That is what causes stress. That is what causes fear. That is what causes confusion. That is what causes judgment and blame. And all of you are being asked to step up your game now. Why is this happening now? Well, we have had many discussions with you about escalating energies. We've had many discussions with you about getting to work, getting to the lessons, getting to your forgiveness practice, because the time for postponing anything is over. This is not to frighten you, but you are riding a wave of increasing energies which are forcing you to face anything in your mind that you have not yet faced. And it is a simple truth that the beliefs and ideas that frighten you are there because you have allowed them to remain there and you have strengthened them. These small ideas and beliefs and thoughts in your mind that scare you, that make you worry about finances, or make you worry about being alone, or needing to separate from somebody, these are conditioned ideas. They are the ones that terrorize you in the night. They are the ones that cause you suffering in the daytime. And they are the ones that will fade away through the practice of forgiveness. This teaching is not complicated, but it is not easy. The forgiveness that must be practiced now because of these escalating energies is intense, in the sense that your upsets are within you, your fears are within you, your judgments are within you. They will seem to be being brought to the surface by other people, but they are in you, and it is in your practicing forgiveness. This means that you're not attacking people around you. You are communicating clearly your feelings in as loving a way as possible. For example, if somebody does something that upsets you and you feel rage or fear arising in your consciousness, you must say to that person, I am feeling fear right now. I realize that this is my problem. This is my fear. But what you are saying is causing this in me. I am going to react a little strangely to this conversation. I'm just letting you know that the reaction you're seeing in me is from something from the past. Because when you have a very, very strong negative reaction, we're not talking about a considered response here. We are talking about a strong negative reaction to something someone says, something someone is doing. You are reacting to a past event that you are now laying on that other person in the present moment. How do you know? Because all they did was say a word, or all they did was express a desire they have, or all they did is express a feeling, and this rage, anger, fear, anxiety, whatever it is arising within your consciousness. And this is the end result of projection. Anything that has not yet been resolved in your mind, anything that has not yet been brought home to roost through the practice of forgiveness is going to be asserting itself now, because it cannot be contained anymore. Think about what low frequency means. It means that you're living in a society where deception or inauthenticity or lying or sacrifice, martyrdom, suffering is encouraged / allowed. If you've had a secret fear, if you've had an old memory that you have not yet forgiven, if you are churning over resentments or future anxieties in that low frequency environment, you are in accord with it. You are not different than it. If, however, you are in an evolving society, if, however, you are in an energetic field that is considerably higher than you, then this body mind of yours is seeking to balance itself. The mind and the body are always seeking to balance themselves. And your body mind complex is going to seek to raise itself up to the frequency that it is being immersed in, that it is swimming in, that is flowing over it. And anything that is not of that high frequency is going to be asked to be removed from that body-mind complex. Asked by what? Just the frequency resonance is going to ask that this low frequency idea be removed, because it cannot go up that frequency ladder with the escalating energies. So it is like you are climbing up a mountain with several backpacks on, and now the mountain has become so steep that you must let some of these backpacks go. When you were on the flat ground, when you were lower down, when you were in the foothills, you could carry this weight. But now you are clambering up very, very steep slopes of evolution. This is what you are studying these teachings for, to evolve your consciousness. And these bags must be let go of, because they are stopping your ascension up this beautiful mountain towards freedom and awakening. How do you let go of old resentments? How do you let go of fears? How do you let go of these things? Well, when it comes to fears, you stand firmly and know that you will be okay. If you go through a fear, and this is something that is very, very pertinent at this time in your society's evolution, if you go through a fear, you will see that on the other side you survive. You will see that on the other side you will feel tremendous relief, because the fear was an idea. The fear was not the truth. And this is one of the great illusions of your experience within your body-mind complex. You have been taught to back off from fear, to avoid fear, to do anything you can to get away from it. And the truth of the matter is your freedom lies under your fears. It is on the other side of that experience. Our journey here together is one of encouragement. It is one of sharing information so that you may understand what is happening. Anxiety is a fear about the future. And this is going to come up in spades as your society goes through these waves of evolutionary light that are coming your way. Light contains information. This is one of the reasons in your society that you have been encouraged to stay out of the light, out of the sun. The sun is beaming to you energies and information that are upgrading you. And so this oppressive, controlling society that has evolved with unconscious cooperation from the population itself, this society does not want that information and evolution to take place, because that is what is going to change your planet. That is what is going to change the power structures, the monetary systems, the laws of your society. And the powers that be, who are enjoying power over many beings, are not happy about relinquishing that power. Now, we do not want to get into a warring kind of mentality over this. We want you to understand that forgiveness is the guaranteed way that war will not arise, and it is the guaranteed way that you heal that which is fractured. It is the guaranteed way that you heal that which is terrifying you. Because if you are in combat with someone, if you are arguing with someone, for example, or arguing with a situation or an idea, this is often the case. You are in your mind, not actually verbalizing what's going on with a person or a place or a thing that's upsetting you. Often this dialogue is taking place in the mind. When you forgive, which means you stop the battle, that means you stop the imaginary fights in your head, the imaginary negative scenario creation in your mind, and get back into what's actually happening, get back into the present moment, get back into understanding that any situation that is difficult, any situation that is painful is lacking love. So instead of participating in the battle in your mind, which is an unforgiving act, you come back into presence and you do what you can to get your feelings calm and peaceful. This means you're no longer in warring mode. And in that mode, in peace, you can send love to the situation. You can offer that situation up for resolution because you have seen that you don't know how to do it. You are battling with your own mind and its imaginings, and you can feel that you're off track because you are suffering. Remember, suffering means that you're looking at this the wrong way. Suffering means you've made a decision that's not in alignment with truth. Suffering means there's been an unloving idea given power in your mind. Once you've come back to peace, once you've stepped away from the interior projection and have come back into this moment, feeling your body, breathing, looking around the room, seeing that there is no war here. There is no battle here. Once you've come back to that place of peace, then you can ask for this conflict in your mind to be resolved. The conflict looks as if it's outside, but it is in fact in your own mind. That is how everything plays out on this plane. It looks as if it's inside, but it looks as if it is outside. You have projected your ideas out there and it is playing out there. But really the source of the conflict is in here. This, given your society's teachings, makes you feel weak, as if you're a doormat, that you're not standing up for yourself, that you don't have healthy boundaries. But we want you to know that in this thought system, you are working as a student of non-duality. That means that you see that there is only one essence, that is love. Either it's flowing or it's blocked. Either it's present or it is hidden from you. It is not there, it is hidden from you by the way you're looking at a situation. Adding love to the mix, which is a high frequency solution, is going to be in accord with these higher energies. Forgiveness, which stops the low frequency combat, is going to take you up into those higher frequencies, and you will become clearer, you will become more inspired, and you will become freer from these old teachings. Now, we are not saying that these practices are easy. In my physical incarnation on the earth so many years ago, I struggled with the same things you're struggling with. And those weeks in the desert that I spent after my enlightenment were exactly the same situation that you are facing now. A high frequency wave of information, knowledge, and love washed over me, and I had to come to some reconciliation with it. I had to let go of my small ego self, the self that had been trained to do certain things, the self that had been taught to value certain things. Even though I had been a student of spirit and channeling and receiving downloads of information for many years at that point, I was still functioning in a body. I was still living in a society that had rules that I had been participating in for a very, very long time, just as all of you are. But I had to step up my game, and this is what is required of all of you now. So over this next month, we would like all of you to take more time to contemplate how you're feeling. Take more time out of the busy schedules that many of you have. Dedicate time to studying the books, whichever books you're reading right now that feel good to you, that speak to you. Read those books. See how they affect you. Do books that you're reading agitate you, or do they calm you? Pay attention to how you're feeling. If a book that you're reading is agitating you, put it aside this month. Go to a text that soothes you, that calms you, that allows you to be in peace. This is not a time for battling the ego in a combative way. It is a time for soothing it. It is a time for nurturance. It is a time for eating well and being calm, listening to your favorite music, all of these sorts of things. The revolution is not a physical one. It is one of heart. It is one of letting go of thought. It is not one of thinking hard or trying to figure things out. It is one of heart. And this is the great revolution that your society is faced with now. You've been trained into intellect. You've been trained into talking. You've been trained into studying and pushing. The new world is one of flow. It is one of heart. It is one of love. It is one of relinquishment, not in the sense of poverty, but in letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. So we want to point you towards the solution to anxiety and fear and combativeness, which is focused dedication to a loving practice. And that is what we want you to do this month. Focused dedication to a loving practice. If your mind is busy trying to figure out the comparisons between this philosophy and this history and that history, stop that. Get present, get calm, do things that make you happy, do things for others that give you joy in sharing that experience with them, and know that all is well in heaven and earth. I am that one that you know as Jesus. And now is the time to calm down. Now is the time to let go of those backpacks as you clamber up this steep learning face that will take you to the next escarpment where you will be able to rest.